Sorry. Anyway, we ready to keep this party going. I ask every time. Let's welcome up Joey Bronner Jr.
Yo, what's going on, guys? My name's Joey Bronner Jr. I'm coming here from a very conservative area in Colorado called Colorado Springs. It's where NORAD is, a lot of military bases, stuff like that. It's actually really interesting living with a bunch of conservatives, though. You learn a lot, mostly stuff about the Constitution from the back of their truck windows. A lot of Second Amendment fans out there. Colorado Springs is also a weird place because there's a lot of guys that look like me that swear to God they believe in Bigfoot, but they also don't believe trans people should have rights. It's a weird situation. I live down there with my wife. We're actually in a non-traditional marriage. We still enjoy each other's company. She still finds me attractive even though I swim with a shirt on. Choose to make love with a shirt on too. You know, usually a polo like this. It's a little awkward though because, you know, she'll go spend some money on some nice lingerie. And I just kind of like shuffle in my little Winnie the Pooh outfit. My poor dog's in the corner like Eeyore. Don't worry, this won't last long. No, we have a good marriage. We do fight about one thing though. My wife thinks that I don't like children. And that's not the case. This all stems from an incident where we were at a baseball game and she just approached somebody's unaccompanied minor and struck up a conversation. And she, after the conversation was done, she asked me, she was like, "Why didn't you talk to that kid?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but it's not socially acceptable for someone who looks like me to just walk up to some random stranger's child and start saying things like, 'That's a pretty dress,' right? Like, how old are you? I'm not trying to get elected." But no, we do have one son though, he's Gen Z. I love Gen Z. I do feel bad though, I saw an article that said that Gen Z as a generation is having way less sex than previous generations, and I thought to myself that might be a lie because, you know, what was happening on that island. My other favorite thing about Gen Z though, are they have the coolest trends. One of my favorite trends of Gen Z is just started doing completely random things without using their cell phones. And then they started calling it raw dogging. Raw dogging, for me, is how you became pro-choice. Another universal fact about raw dogging is that everybody's mother has done it, at least once, including my own. I do think that my mom was kind of a cat lady though. Not because we ever owned any cats, but because she used to leave my brother and I home alone for days at a time with like 3 cans of tuna and a saucer of milk. But my dad was my superhero, and I know a lot of people like to say that about their dads, but my dad actually did have a secret identity. During the week, he was a mild-mannered accountant, but on the weekends, he would pop out of the closet covered in glitter like he was ready to hit pride. Had a gay dad. It was actually really cool. It never became awkward until the end of his life when he was in hospice. He asked me to do a couple things. The first thing he asked me to do was to delete his porn collection. And we're talking about a 65-year-old accountant, so these are meticulous files on a desktop computer with file names like 2008 taxes.butts. Just filled with like still images of Latin men. Dad had it type. The other awkward thing that he asked me to do, well, he didn't ask me to do it. We live in America, so I had to do it. I had to help with a lot of the home health care while he was passing away. And at one point, I had to give my dad a suppository. And it always gets really quiet when I tell that joke. So let me set this up for you. So my dad's hanging on to the edge of the bed here, right, for dear life, because, you know, he's dying. And didn't have a lot of strength. And I'm behind him, you know, with the medicine-filled tampon, trying to like pin the tail on the donkey. And it was a really special moment for both of us though, because he looked back at me and I looked up at him and we locked eyes and we both realized that this might be the last time a man lovingly placed something in his ass. Oh man, my other job besides this is bartending. I really like bartending because it's one of the few customer service jobs where you get to slowly poison your customers. They think it's their idea and I make good money. I actually stole that idea from ExxonMobil. Before I started bartending, I had a completely different career altogether. I sold drugs. It's totally different. Drugs are solid, alcohol's liquid. Don't think about it. But that came to an abrupt end when I sold drugs to a cop. Twice. That's why I ended up becoming a convicted felon. It's not all bad being a felon, though. There's actually some bright spots. It's actually incredibly easy to get out of destination weddings. But when I got my felony, I was a young man. I was in my early 20s. My life kind of spiraled out of control. I put on a ton of weight. I was in and out of court all the time. I just got really toxic with the women in my life. And I realized that if I didn't turn things around and become a better person, there was a really solid chance I could end up serving like 4 to 8 years in the White House. Oh man, I grew up actually not too far from here on Cape Cod. Lived there till I was 24 years old. Grew up as a Catholic. Don't worry, I didn't get molested by a priest. I was actually jealous of all my friends that got molested though, because at least they got to see a professional their first time. I got like my Uncle Mike in my mom's bedroom with his rusty mechanic hands. Cool, thank you guys.